at 1:10 in the morning on September 1st, 2017. An emergency dispatcher sitting in a sterile communications center in Raleigh, North Carolina, receives a chilling, soft-spoken call from 29-year-old Matthew Phelps. The man on the line tells the operator that he is covered in a dark substance and that a discarded kitchen blade rests on his bed. In a calm, detached voice, he confesses that he believes he is responsible for the devastating scene before him, claiming he ingested Coricidin cough and cold medicine before going to sleep because it made him feel good. He states he has just woken up to find his wife, Lauren, unresponsive on the bedroom floor. They are about to step into a nightmare that will challenge the very boundaries of forensic toxicology and legal accountability. Before the tragedy, 29-year-old Lauren Hugh Phelps stands as the vibrant center of her family and community in Raleigh, North Carolina. The city features a dense canopy of oak trees, quiet suburban neighborhoods, and long stretches of highway connecting residential zones to bustling corporate centers. Lauren navigates this landscape daily, driving from her serene suburban neighborhood to her demanding job as an editor for a prominent pharmaceutical research company. Her parents, Dale and Lori, along with her sister Beth, cherish her infectious smile and boundless energy. The church serves as a pillar of the community, characterized by its traditional brick facade and welcoming congregation. Inside those walls, Lauren spends her free time teaching Sunday school to young children, anchoring her life in faith and service. Her days follow a structured rhythm of spreadsheets, family dinners, and church events. Everyone who crosses her path describes a young woman radiating joy and purpose. Through her extensive network of church friends, Lauren crosses paths with Matthew Phelps. He presents himself as an aspiring pastor who recently studied missions and evangelism at a Bible college in the rolling hills of Kentucky. Matthew wears the mask of an ordinary devoted young man seeking a life of spiritual service. He speaks with a gentle cadence, quoting scripture and sharing his ambition to lead a congregation of his own. The couple begins spending hours walking through local parks and attending evening church services together. To the outside world, they project the image of a picture-perfect young Christian couple wrapped in love. Their shared values and mutual dedication to the church seem to provide a rock-solid foundation for a lasting partnership. In November 2016, they stand before their friends and family to exchange their wedding vows. Lauren beams with optimism, believing she has found a partner who matches her dedication to faith and family. They sign a lease on a 2-story townhouse situated on Patuxent Drive, a quiet residential street lined with identical facades and neat lawns. The structure features a small front porch, a tight entry hallway, and a narrow staircase leading up to the primary bedroom. They move their belongings into the Patuxent Drive residence and begin planning their future together. Lauren continues to balance her demanding career with a thriving social life, maintaining her rigorous schedule of corporate audits and Sunday school lessons. She decorates the townhouse with personal touches, filling the living room with photographs of her family and tokens of her faith. Matthew spends increasing amounts of time isolated within the walls of their new home. The physical layout of the townhouse isolates the upstairs bedroom from the living spaces below, creating a secluded environment where secrets can fester. While Lauren works long hours at the pharmaceutical firm to support their household, Matthew remains immersed in a digital world hidden from his new wife. He maintains a pious public persona at church gatherings, smiling at peers and shaking hands with the elders. Yet behind the closed doors of their upstairs bedroom, the reality of his daily routine contrasts with his aspiring pastor facade. Lauren goes about her daily tasks unaware of the hidden fractures developing within her new marriage. The polished exterior of their suburban life masks a growing psychological rot consuming her husband. She trusts the man sleeping beside her, never suspecting that the secure walls of her own home will become a trap. The illusion of their perfect marriage shatters in the early hours of September 1st, 2017. Patrol cruisers arrive at the Patuxent Drive townhouse, their flashing blue and red lights casting long, erratic shadows across the neighboring lawns. Officers approach the front door, their heavy boots thudding against the concrete walkway as they prepare to enter the residence. They push past the front entrance, moving through the narrow downstairs hallway and up the carpeted staircase to the second floor. Despite the overwhelming destruction surrounding him, Matthew remains physically unharmed, bearing no defensive marks or signs of a struggle. He sits still, maintaining his bizarre narrative of an unwitting medication-induced blackout. Crime scene technicians secure the townhouse, documenting every inch of the upstairs bedroom. They collect the discarded blade from the mattress and log empty boxes of cold medicine found nearby. The physical distance between the medication packaging and the final resting place of the victim becomes a crucial point of geographical interest for the detectives. Officers place Matthew in handcuffs, leading him down the narrow staircase and out into the humid Carolina night air. The heavy metallic click of the cruiser doors echoes down the quiet street, sealing his fate as he is transported to the precinct. Authorities officially charge Matthew with the highest degree of criminal homicide, sending immediate shockwaves through their tight-knit church community in Wake Forest. The bizarre nature of his pharmaceutical defense captures national media attention. Reporters flock to the quiet Raleigh neighborhood, broadcasting images of the unassuming townhouse to millions of viewers. Investigators realize they are not merely dealing with a standard domestic dispute, but rather a highly unusual medical and legal mystery. They must now dismantle a calculated alibi designed to exploit a legal loophole regarding involuntary intoxication. The stage is set for a monumental clash between a predator hiding behind a pharmaceutical excuse and the rigorous demands of forensics truth. Detectives face an immediate and complex legal challenge. Matthew anchors his entire defense on the ingestion of Coricidin cough and cold medicine. He claims the active ingredient, dextromethorphan, triggered a severe involuntary sleepwalking state. Law enforcement officials recognize this rare toxicological defense could create a massive legal loophole. They initiate a rigorous forensic review, consulting specialized medical examiners to understand the pharmaceutical mechanics of the medication. Representatives from Bayer, the manufacturer of the product, monitor the developing national news coverage. Days later, the pharmaceutical giant releases a formal public statement addressing the controversy. Bayer executives confirm there is zero scientific record of their product causing violent or homicidal behavior. Detectives read the official document and realize they must dismantle the involuntary intoxication theory through undeniable physical evidence. They map out a slow, deliberate investigation plan to prove conscious intent. the investigative team divides their efforts, sending physical evidence to the state laboratory while cyber units begin obtaining search warrants for digital devices. Throughout the first week of September, crime scene reconstruction experts examine the geographical layout of the townhouse. They measure the exact distance from the downstairs kitchen, where the blade was stored, to the upstairs primary bedroom. A sleepwalking individual would need to navigate the narrow, dark hallway, avoid furniture obstacles, and climb the carpeted stairs without stumbling. The resulting forensic report details an extreme level of physical exertion and sustained focus. Detectives cross-reference this physical data with known medical profiles of sleepwalking patients. People experiencing a genuine night terror or somnambulism exhibit clumsy, uncoordinated movements. The sheer stamina required to inflict such extensive trauma contradicts the physical capabilities of an unconscious person. Investigators conclude the perpetrator possessed full motor control and spatial awareness during the attack. This medical revelation eliminates the possibility of a pharmaceutical blackout, transforming the narrative from a tragic medical anomaly into a calculated assault. Officers continue building their case, confident the cold medicine boxes left near the bed were staged props meant to deceive law enforcement. Moving into the second week of the investigation, the Cybercrimes Division executes search warrants on the electronic devices seized from the residence. Digital forensics experts extract terabytes of data from cellular phones and personal computers. They sift through internet search histories, hidden folders, and encrypted applications. The technicians uncover a hidden digital trail that shatters Matthew's pious public persona. Detectives scroll through posts glorifying notorious serial killers, dark alter egos, and morbid imagery. The suspect used this platform to express thoughts divorced from his role as an aspiring pastor. Officers print out screenshots of the Marty Radical account, laying the physical papers across their briefing room tables. The contrast between the smiling Sunday school husband and the brooding online persona provides a terrifying glimpse into his true psychology. Law enforcement officials realize the predator was hiding in plain sight, using his religious facade to mask a disturbed mind. This digital discovery prompts detectives to look closer at the domestic reality hidden behind the walls of the townhouse. By mid-September, investigators pivot their attention toward the financial records of the household. Detectives submit subpoenas to banking institutions, securing months of credit card statements and checking account ledgers. Forensic accountants sit in a windowless precinct office, tracing every dollar entering and exiting the joint accounts. Lauren maintained meticulous financial discipline, utilizing her professional auditing skills to track their monthly household budget. The bank records reveal a stark contrast in spending habits between the two spouses. Accountants discover the couple's primary checking account rests at a zero balance. The audit exposes Matthew's obsessive, secret spending habits taking place while his wife worked long hours at her corporate job. He funneled over $19,200 into digital entertainment, purchasing endless Xbox and iTunes subscriptions. He hid these digital transactions from his wife, funding his isolated gaming lifestyle at the expense of their financial security. The paper trail provides undeniable proof of deep marital friction and financial deceit. Detectives recognize this financial ruin as a classic stressor, forming a concrete motive for a domestic confrontation. The investigation shifts from a search for abstract psychological clues to a grounded timeline of marital collapse. As September draws to a close, detectives conduct detailed interviews with Lauren's inner circle of friends and church members. Investigators sit across from grieving peers, asking targeted questions about the final weeks of the young woman's life. Witnesses provide crucial testimonies regarding Lauren's growing frustration with her husband's deceit. Detectives secure communication records from cellular providers, reconstructing text message exchanges between the couple. The digital messages confirm Lauren discovered the drained bank accounts and confronted him about the missing funds. She initiated strict boundaries, restricting his spending and demanding accountability for the missing money. Her actions threatened to expose his lies and dismantle his curated image of the responsible, devoted husband. Investigators pieced together this final timeline, realizing the victim recognized the danger of her financial ruin but underestimated the physical threat in her own bedroom. The prosecution team reviews the compiled evidence, noting the destroyed finances, the secret digital alter ego, and the impossible forensic mechanics of the sleepwalking defense. The legal authorities prepare to present an airtight case built on verifiable facts and meticulous police work. The net tightens around the suspect, leaving him trapped by his own digital footprints and banking records. The legal battle transitions from the quiet neighborhood streets to the imposing Wake County Justice Center in downtown Raleigh. The district attorney assembles a dedicated prosecution war room on the upper floors of the Glass and Steel facility. Detectives and prosecutors cover the long wooden conference tables with digital extraction reports and high-resolution forensic photographs. The spatial layout of the evidence boards highlights the massive chronological gaps in the defense theory. The legal team confronts a rigid state protocol regarding involuntary intoxication claims under North Carolina law. The legal statutes require a defendant to prove they lacked total mental capacity due to an outside, unprescribed substance. The defense attempts to utilize this specific legal loophole to shield their client from all criminal accountability. The prosecution strikes back with the staggering physical evidence gathered from the Patuxent Drive townhouse crime scene. The sheer physical exertion required to inflict 123 sharp force injuries demands conscious motor control and deliberate stamina. Medical experts verify that a genuine sleepwalking episode cannot sustain such prolonged targeted aggression across a complex spatial environment. The cough medicine alibi shatters under the weight of basic human anatomy and forensic logic. The state builds an impenetrable wall of facts to block the intoxication loophole from reaching a jury. The meticulously documented crime scene photographs serve as the ultimate countermeasure against the pharmaceutical defense. The impending trial promises a brutal exposure of the suspect and his fabricated medical blackout. The prosecution escalates their legal strategy by filing a formal notice with the court clerk. The state declares its intent to seek the ultimate capital penalty against the defendant. Matthew sits in a cramped cinder-block holding cell illuminated by a single fluorescent bulb. The arrogant facade of the confident youth pastor breaks under the pressure of the capital charges. He reviews the extensive discovery documents provided by his defense attorneys during their visitation hours. He stares at the printed screenshots of his secret Marty radical alter ego laid out on the metal table. He reads the detailed financial audits exposing his zero-balance bank accounts and excessive digital entertainment purchases. The digital footprint traps him in a verifiable web of financial deceit and hidden aggression. The drained bank accounts provide a clear, grounded motive for a massive domestic confrontation. The predator hiding in plain sight realizes his exposure to the public is absolute and unavoidable. The prospect of facing a 12-person jury trial evaporates in the face of the overwhelming circumstantial evidence. The cornered suspect must weigh a prolonged public trial against a definitive plea to save his own life. The reinforced side door opens with a loud mechanical click. Heavy metallic chains drag across the carpeted floor. Bailiffs escort Matthew into the room. He wears a standard orange prison uniform. He shuffles toward the defense table and takes a seat beside his legal counsel. The gallery falls silent. The judge strikes the gavel against the sounding block. The session begins. The lead defense attorney stands before the judge. Matthew stands up to address the presiding judge. He speaks into the microphone in a low, detached tone. He utters the word guilty. He accepts full responsibility for the first-degree intentional taking of his wife's life. The admission secures a calculated plea agreement with the district attorney. The truth of the financial ruin stands confirmed by his own admission. The system holds the predator accountable for his calculated deception. Matthew will never walk free among the civilian population again. He will never return to the quiet suburban streets of Raleigh or Wake Forest. The legal system closes the involuntary intoxication loophole that threatened to derail the pursuit of justice. All eyes turn toward the memory of the vibrant life stolen from the community. The scales of justice settle into a locked, immovable position. The state ensures the safety of the public from a calculating threat. The court grants the floor to Lauren's grieving family members. Dale grips the edges of the wooden stand to steady his composure. He speaks of the devastating betrayal inflicted upon his trusting household. He details the immense void left in their lives by her sudden absence. He directs his gaze at the defense table. Matthew looks down at the table's surface and avoids eye contact. The convicted man displays a chilling lack of emotion or visible remorse. The ordinary mask of the devoted youth pastor is gone. An empty hollow shell remains in his place. She demands the court remember Lauren for her vibrant spirit and her unwavering faith. She refuses to let the final moments of terror in the upstairs bedroom define her sister's lasting legacy. Bailiffs approach the defense table to execute the transfer orders. They grasp the arms of the convicted man to lead him away. They escort him out of the courtroom through a reinforced steel side door. The heavy metal latches lock into place with a definitive echo. The state transfers the prisoner to the North Carolina Department of Adult Correction. He trades his elaborate digital fantasy world for a sterile concrete cell. The movement sweeps through the Wake Forest community and the surrounding Raleigh suburbs. Supporters tie bright purple ribbons around the sprawling oak trees lining the residential streets. The purple fabric symbolizes a unified stance on domestic violence awareness and prevention. The church congregation establishes support networks for individuals trapped in deceptive or dangerous relationships. They use Lauren's story to educate young men and women about the hidden red flags of financial abuse. They ensure her bright spirit outshines the shadows of the Patuxent Drive townhouse. The coordinated effort provides a vital resource for vulnerable individuals facing hidden domestic threats. Lauren Hugelmeyer Phelps remains a guiding force for those seeking a way out of the dark. Her light continues to shine through the actions of the family she left behind.